We are right here at Old Spanish Trail. First it was a trail, and then it became a road, and then it became a street. Now that's the history. But Old Spanish Trail is the trail that the Spaniards used when they came to fight Mexico and Santa Anna. And then the Old Spanish Trail is the same trail that we're getting ready to go down, where Santa Anna and the Mexican army had the battle of the Sam Houston and the Texas Republican at the San Jacinto Battleground. But right now, we're going to go into, as we're getting ready to go into Harrisburg, Texas. Now, on part one, we told you that the name of this bayou is Buffalo Bayou. That's a mistake. The name of this bayou is Braves Bayou. Harrisburg is the only city, the only street other than South Main that crosses both bayous, Braves Bayou and Buffalo Bayou. But right here is Braves Bayou, and Braves Bayou will go all the way to the ship channel and dump the water. In case when we have our hurricane, our flood, this is where this water gonna wind up trying to get to the ship channel, which is right on the other side of this Braves Bayou, and it's part of Harrisburg. But as you can see, we are now entering Harrisburg, Texas. And Harrisburg, Texas was here before Houston, Texas. Harrisburg, Texas was discovered in 1825 by Mr. John Richardson Harris. And they eventually named Harris County after him. Now, as we go down Wayside, remember, OST turns into Wayside once you cross Telephone Road, and before you get to I-45, that's I-45 going south, going towards Galveston. But right now, we are in Harrisburg, Texas, which was Harrisburg, Texas was in 1825 when they discovered Harrisburg, Texas, and Mr. John Richardson Harris. And John Richardson Harris had discovered Harrisburg before Houston, Texas. Houston was discovered in 1836, 11 years later. Right now, we're going to go down one of the main drag strips, which is called Lawndale. We went down Harrisburg, now we're going to go down Lawndale. Welcome to Harrisburg, Texas. And as you can see, Harrisburg, Texas have always been a real nice city. And now, since the Houston annexed it in Houston annexed it in 1926. That's when Houston really annexed Harrisburg, Texas, and it became part of Houston in 1926. But as you can see, this is Harrisburg, which used to be a city before Houston. We're going down Lawndale, and what we're gonna do this time on Harrisburg, Texas was here before Houston, Texas, part 2. We're going to show you the other side of Harrisburg, Texas, and we're also going to show you where the Allen brothers came in and bought, and they came in and discovered Houston and divided it up into wards. At first it was 4 wards, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th ward, and later on they added 2 more wards, which was 5th ward and 6th ward. And I will show you well, all of the ward that ties into Harrisburg, Texas, because the Allen brothers had to build around Harrisburg, Texas when they discovered Houston, because this was still part of Harrisburg, Texas, and John Richardson Harris did not want to sell to John Allen and Augustus Allen. So they had to go down the bayou a little bit further, and that's when they discovered Houston. All right, now right here, we're going to show you, this is the beginning of Highway 225. You hear me? That's right, 225. And 225 takes you right on out towards all the chemical plants. And it takes you right on out to Pasadena, Deer Park, LaPorte, and also tie you in to Baytown. But we're not going there. Texas. And when they annexed it in 1926 is when they annexed it. And then right now you can see where this would go right into the ship channel, and all your chemical plants are all right up in here as we turn. And as you see, right up in here is the beginning of 225, and 225 will connect in to 610. We're not going to go there because we got stuff we got to show you. But that little Port Freeway, that's what they call it. The Harrisburg turns into Broadway. And we'll show you what that go on. We showed you that in part 1. But we're going to show you back in part 2. But this time, we're going to go down Navigation when we get to that. But right now, we're on Broadway. Broadway turns into Harrisburg. And Harrisburg later on turns into Texas Avenue, and that's downtown Houston. All right, as we ride down here, this is another busy street up down on Broadway that's called Manchester. Manchester is also a real popular street here in Harrisburg. And as we go under the bridge, we're heading back towards Harrisburg Street, because this street, Broadway, will turn into Harrisburg as we go down further down the road. Now, as we get ready to go over this bridge is where the Buffalo Bayou is. Now we show you the bridge, which is Buffalo Bayou. And see, Buffalo Bayou and Braves Bayou, they gonna tie into each other and dump all that water right here in the ship channel. And that's the ship channel right down the street. And you can see the ship channel bridge right over there. And right there is where the Buffalo Bayou gonna dump all that water at. And right now that you see, that's Harrisburg and that's Navigation. We going down Navigation. Because why we gonna go down Navigation? Because we gonna show you what Navigation, which was always part of Harrisburg, Texas, and it ties in to 2nd Ward. And 2nd Ward is part of Houston. When the Allen brothers discovered Houston in 1836, they divided it up in 4 wards. And the wards that had to be tied into Harrisburg was 2nd Ward, were Hispanic 80%. Not just 80, let's say 95% of all this area was Hispanics. Because you got to remember, before John Harris discovered Harrisburg, this was Mexico. So quite natural, Hispanics was always here. They was here before the white settlers came here. And this is one thing haven't changed in 194 years as we go through Harrisburg, Texas, and we will show you now that is a chemical plant. And we will show you where Harrisburg, Texas ties into the ward, 2nd Ward, and it also ties into 5th Ward, and it also ties into 3rd Ward. Because when they divided it and had 6 wards here, the 2nd Ward is dominated by Hispanic. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th Ward and 4th Ward was dominated by blacks. And as we go down Navigation, and one of the biggest streets down in Navigation is 75th, and they got another big street down Navigation, which is Canal. And Canal will tie you into downtown Houston on one side, and then also on the other side, it'll tie you into 5th Ward. Now, when Houston annexed this in 1926, they went on, put some of Harrisburg into 2nd Ward. And this is the main street here in Harrisburg, Texas, which is now the community of Harrisburg, which is still occupied by 95% Hispanics. Because Hispanics was here before the white settlers got here. Hispanics was here before Texas won the independence from Mexico. And all of this is part of Harrisburg, Texas. I told you Harrisburg was a big place. Harrisburg, Texas was not a small little mom and pop city. It was bigger than Houston. In fact, they had the first subdivision in Harrisburg, Texas, and that first subdivision was called Denver Harbor. That's right, Denver Harbor. And we're gonna show you where Denver Harbor is. We on Navigation. Now, if I go to the right, I'm going down Jensen Drive. That's going towards 5th Ward. But we going, now this is 2nd Ward, y'all. Right now, as we stand right now, this was the end of Harrisburg, Texas, and this was the beginning of Houston, Texas. And this was part of 5th Ward. To my right is 5th Ward, which I told you they added on 5th and 6th Ward. But the original 4 wards, this was 2nd Ward, which then was Hispanics, 90% Hispanic, and 194 years later, it's still 94% Hispanics. Because Hispanics was here way back before Texas even got its independence from Mexico. Hispanics was here when John Richardson Harris bought Harrisburg, Texas. Now we're in 2nd Ward right now. This is Canal. This is Canal and Navigation. Now when we go under this bridge, we're gonna be out of 2nd Ward. And we're gonna be in downtown Houston. And I'll show you what if 2nd Ward intersect with 3rd Ward. Watch it closely now. As we go under this bridge, because we're leaving out of 2nd Ward, going towards really downtown, but 3rd Ward gonna connect into 2nd Ward because they put the wards so it wouldn't tie into downtown Houston when the Allen brothers discovered Houston and started mapping it out. All right, now we're in downtown Houston. Okay, in case you want to know, here it is. You know where you're at. There's Minute Maid Park. Okay, there we go. We're in downtown Houston right now. Just that quick. And we're down a street called Franklin. All right, we're right here on Franklin. Remember, Franklin turns in to Navigation. We were going down Navigation. Remember when I showed you when you was in Harrisburg, Texas, how quickly you was going to change. Navigation turns into Franklin. Harrisburg Street turns into Texas. Congress Street turns into Dowling. Making sense now. 3rd Ward.